So
My name is Jules Zaphire.
I know you.
You know me.
I know you very well.
Everybody knows who I am. I am, I guess, one of the founding members of locqube. In the business for just about 25 years now. That makes me quite an old fogey, but I like to think I'm still a young buck and new to a never changing industry.
We would all like to think a lot of things, Jules. We would, but you know, one of the things that has always characterized you, I'm gonna boast for you. You are, you've had a background in mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
You were actually a loan officer for a long time.
Yep.
Right? A family owned business.
Yep.
You're an entrepreneur and you've actually, founded and sold, a few years ago, you sold, your participation in a elevator business that
That's right. Yeah.
you were in.
Yeah.
So you decided to come back to real estate full time.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a Cornell graduate.
Yes. Exactly.
You like to throw that around,
Yeah.
or I listen. Um, but as much as you bring to the table, I think one of the things that in working together for over a decade,
Long time. That's a long time.
and watching you as a husband, as a daddy, that you care,
Yes.
that you care. So you're busy. Your mornings are very busy. You got a busy house,
Yes.
and you live far away. You cover a vast territory.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things in the industry that we're hearing in a fairly short existence is that locqube is cheap,
Mm.
right? And that people are going to sacrifice in service. And what would you tell, not the industry, because we're not going to be able to combat that, but what would you tell a homeowner that is thinking about working with locqube, about working with Jules, if they hear, well, they're just cheap and you get what you pay for?
Interesting. Well, I've never heard that locqube is cheap. It's never crossed my path at all. So maybe I've just been fortunate not to hear any of that. But the reality is the services that locqube has, the technology behind what we have, allows me to free up my time to give more attention to my clients. It gives me the opportunity to really focus and fine tune my analysis, my thoughts towards my client. When we're looking at a property, when we're thinking about putting in offers, when we're doing whatever it is that needs to be done with regards to real estate. So it gives me the ability to give more personal attention. So I'm actually able to offer more to my client and charge less because the system is able to handle a lot more than what we were previously able to do prior to this.
Can you give an example of how the platform does so much heavy lifting?
Sure.
And how a practical example that how does that release you give that additional attention?
Yeah, just this past Saturday, I went to show a property. Client was very interested in it. Right then and there, he's asking me what I believe the value of the property is, what kind of offer we should come with, and so on. Under normal circumstances, I'll say, Mr. Buyer, I can't chat with you about it just yet. Let me do some analysis and I'll get back to you. Instead, I just took out my phone and I started putting in the address and I get my CMA right on the spot. And then on top of that, it gives me any nuance. I interject with my nuance and I put it together. And before you know it, we have a coherent conversation about a direction we want to take with this property and an offer we want to take.
Right on the spot.
Right on the spot. We didn't even leave the property yet.
So in a market where time is always of the essence.
Always, yes.
Inventory is limited. So how valuable was it for you to be able to have that conversation instead of running back to your computer, pulling up your MLS,
right,
running a CMA, calibrating the MLS so that the search would yield? How much would you say momentum it gave the transaction?
Oh, forget it. I mean, I was able to put in an offer within 30 minutes. legitimately speaking, once I was able to actually sit down and get in front of my computer, just so I could, put in my fine touches as I get it out to a listing agent.
Are you saying that we should build the ability to put the offer right from there?
I think so, but
that's another argument for another meeting.
That's my 2 cents, right?
Again, caring about customers. I know that you've become friends with clients, and friends become clients, and
It's true.
you have a blurred line between business and personal.
Yeah, I would say so when it comes to my clients, yes.
Why is that important to you?
It's going to be a convoluted answer here, but real estate, I love the tangible aspect of it. I love the dreams and hopes that it gives to people. And the idea that a person, a family can move into their first home, I'm attached to that though. I love that idea. And then when you actually put your heart, your passion into it to help that family, you become tight with that family, and that family becomes your family. And now you're going to the barbecues, and then they come into your barbecues, and that's how I guess it gets that way.
That's one. In fact, one of your former clients is just rejoining locqube.
That's right. Yes.
Randy. Shout out to Randy.
Big shout out to Randy.
Yeah, for making a good call.
Yes.
I just had a really good question. Yeah. So you have seen the buy side process for a long time.
Sure.
You saw it as a loan officer,
Right.
writing and underwriting mortgages and collecting paperwork.
Yep.
You've seen it as a buyer agent. Largely, most of your career was as a buyer agent, and yet a shift started to happen about a year and a half ago. Last year, you more than double your inventory. You used to just get a handful of listings a year. Now, sometimes that's a bad month for you. What would you attribute that shift to becoming more of a listing agent, increasing your inventory by 200-300%? What would you attribute that to?
Combo of things. The technology behind locqube helps dramatically. So when you don't have to spend days on end putting together documentation to get out to a client, that helps a lot. It's not just that, it's also setting up a listing, making it look nice. That whole cover to the book really makes a big difference when you're talking about marketing to a client and getting that part out the door, that minutia that I don't have to deal with as much.
So the way the listing looks on locqube.
Not only the way it looks on locqube, but then the process in getting it there. So that whole process has been condensed dramatically. So between having it condensed, the actual process looking, the end result looking amazing, that's been a major help in actually taking on more listings.
When you say somebody watching that doesn't know, an agent maybe that is watching this and is kind of curious at what are these guys doing there, when you say condensed, what does that mean? Like the process to make it look that way, compare it to how it was before and what is it now? How much of it do you actually have to do? Or
yeah, I would say we've gotten it down to probably good at putting in a good 10 to 15% of my own. It's knocked it down to 10 to 15% of what it actually was before. How about that? Everything from pictures to lining up the pictures to just all the coordination. That alone, the actual write-ups of your listings themselves, where you can actually put in your own 2 cents afterward, like all of that is, all that fine-tuning, that's reduced my time and effort into putting up a listing all the way down to maybe, 15%.
So 90%, 85% of the work is lifted by the platform.
Yes.
What I'm hearing from you, and for the dev team engineers like that are watching, we got to get it to 100%.
We'll get there.
So you just, we're going to get there. I know you're going to put pressure to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
In the words of philosopher Jerry Maguire, show me the money, right? Money is a big thing for sellers. And commissions are a hot topic in the industry for the last couple of years. It's always been, but how has your conversation changed, shifted from before that you were here at Pantiga, traditional boutique brokerage, to technology enabled platform with a different pricing model. How has the conversation shifted? I know you're getting an offer. Is this, you got to take that?
This one can wait.
That one can wait.
Yes, I'll get back.
Is this the offer from the weekend?
No, this is a different offer.
Okay, well, you're showing off.
I'm not. It's got a lot on the move.
So the conversation, and because of the locqube model and the pricing structure, it shifted with homeowners. What would you say is the biggest change when you're talking to homeowners about commissions and savings? What is the sense that homeowners get?
They're accustomed to that 5 to 6% model right off the bat. When we introduced, it's not introducing, it's always been there. But when we really talk about our strategy with only focusing on our end, being at 199% for most homes priced over a certain dollar amount, that has been something that blows their mind. They didn't think that we can do that. They thought it was something that's a change in the laws and whatnot. And all it is just a matter of transparency. With everything that we've been able to do in consolidating our processes and whatnot, we're actually able to do more for our clients and still only, offer at 199% commission compared to a full 6% that we would normally give on, or at least the traditional brokerages would give on a normal transaction.
Yeah.
How it ends up and being open-minded, and our sellers are still continuing to do that. But the notion that it's not a mandatory thing is dramatically different for ourselves.
You are very kind, but what people may not know about you is that you're a fierce competitor. You do not lose well. You lose quietly, you lose like a gentleman, but you don't like to lose.
Right.
Have you lost a lot of listings to the competition since coming about, especially becoming a listing agent, focusing more on inventory?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, a few times that I have lost, it's because someone promised a brother or a cousin the listing, or, they just were still unfamiliar and didn't think what I was saying was actually accurate and true. Right. So, the idea that also we are giving, all this service at 199, for some, they think it's too good to be true. And, you have to kind of show them that, no, this is the reality. I'm giving you the same service, if not more, than what I was able to give you before we were locqube. And I'm happy to be a part of it. This is a really good thing for ourselves.
Is it a fair assumption to say that also having that time back, that increase in business, gives you a lot of more time with your family? It improves your personal.
Yeah, it's supposed to give me more time with my family.
Okay,
we could cut that out. I go hunting for more. So the hunter keeps hunting, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair. Let's just shift gears before we close it out, because I know you're busy. You have been not always really drawn to the culture from the family environment here, but you're a flag carrier, right? Like you love. What would you say to an agent that is considering the company not just from a technology perspective and how much we're building and growing, but also from a culture perspective? What would you say to someone that's thinking about joining locqube and they're considering the other traditional brokerages as well?
Right. So, if you're considering locqube, know that, it's a two-way street with this interview process. You have to fit into our culture as well as, we have to fit into yours. So, you do get a family here. People who were here in the past, understand exactly what I'm talking about. You could ask any and all questions of everyone. No one has a private office here. It matters. All of that matters dramatically. And, we'll call each other at all times to try and get some assistance or help in certain things. people here willingly cover my open houses. And I do theirs if I'm able to, even though I live up in Canada. So, the point of the matter is that we're here for each other all the time. And that's something that is hard to find in any other brokerage.
No, that's awesome, and you bring so much in knowledge and in spirit. So, I think this is good. I think you shared a lot, and there's a lot of value. So, thank you, man. Thank you for being
My
part of the
pleasure.
show.
Yeah, it's a good family to be a part of. Love the person.
So if you're go, you close, you just if you look for a few questions,
I mean, you can, because the more conversation on the loan, each question is sent you.
pero you want to send them all on files and like at least send one because we could probably do we could have servers like files. Yeah, and we could do it as there's locking conversations and then it flips and you put it on YouTube. At
I don't know. Maybe we could make it part of building the lock you type of things. Yeah. Okay, good. This probably would last us for